Hey Larry, before we get into a big job like a water pump, we always take a look at all the different cars, look at all the cars' computers, and find out, make sure which faults are in there, so on and so on. The first thing you want to do is verify that indeed the computer was saying that the electronic water pump was a problem. You may know this already from talking to BMW, but unlike most cars, your car does have an electronic type water pump. It's unique to the BMW designs. And when I went into the fault codes here on the engine computer, fault number 3 of 4, indeed you see electric coolant pump cut off. That means that the pump wasn't working correctly and it's cut off. And then you see here again electronic coolant pump speed deviation. So these are slam dunk faults that are saying that the electronic water pump has in fact failed. So we're on the right track with the pump. Now there are other faults in here. Let's go to the beginning of it. So you've got 1 of 4 faults. This fault's showing an intelligent battery sensor that's bugging out. This is like a sensor that is made into the cable on the battery itself. We're going to go ahead and clear it for now, but keep in mind if you start having buggy electrical systems, you'll need to get this intelligent battery sensor. It's also called an IBS. I noticed on the estimate, on the paperwork that they had put inside the car, they mentioned too that it needed an IBS cable itself. So just watch it and see. Right now you've got a big enough repair with the water pump. Let's kick the can down the road. I'll clear that fault. Again, though, be aware if it comes back, then maybe time for an IBS sensor. And not sure what this fault is. Can't say I've ever seen this one. But anytime that I have, and let's go back to this, anytime that I see this intelligent battery sensor, that means the electrical system can be unstable, and it sets other faults that are what we call just buggy or unusual. They're anomalies, and this looks to be an anomaly here. I would not worry about that. As I said, on all of these, we're not going to worry about these. Just clear them out. And you see here, you've got other computers. By the way, what you're looking at, these are all the different computers on your car. That's the engine, transmission, so on and so on. That's page 1, page 2, page 3. That's right, there's that many different computers on your car. These things are computers on wheels. But anything in red means there's at least one fault inside the computer itself. And again, referring to the intelligent battery sensor, I wouldn't take any of these faults as serious. You see where this one says under voltage? Because if an intelligent battery sensor is bugging out, then you're going to get irregularities across the electrical system. So I'm just basically going to be clearing out all these faults after we do the water pump. We'll test drive it, and then after about a 20-mile test drive, I'll take a look again to see if any of them come back, and as well if there's any symptoms. Because when it comes to fault diagnosis, you can get carried away with just replacing a bunch of parts based on faults. What we're interested, just like with a doctor, we're interested in symptoms that are related to the faults themselves. Or as a doctor says, client presentation. And if the car drives good and you've just got incidental faults, then none to worry. And we'll distinguish between incidental faults and consequential faults. But for now, what I'll do is I'm going to be pressing this auto eraser, and I'll erase all the faults in all these computers that are in red. And then we'll just play it by ear from there after the test drive.